Greetings, brethren, and everybody around the world. Today is the last great day. It pictures when all of humanity will have their chance in the resurrection, second resurrection. And today we take up an offering, as we do on the other days of the other holy days of God's work, the holy days of God, as such as. We take one up on the first and last day of unleavened bread, Pentecost, trumpets, atonement, first day of the Feast of Tabernacles, and today, which is the last great day. God doesn't need our money, but He's giving us the opportunity to practice His way of give. He owns it all. So our lives, our jobs, our income belongs to Him. God's financial way is this. He expects us to give 10% of our income after taxes, plus offerings, and also additional offerings on His holy days, which are 7 times a year. And this is the 7th one, so the last one for the year. Let's go ahead and turn to Malachi 3, verse 8 and 10. Malachi 3, 8 and 10. Starting in verse 8. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But you say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. You are cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. He also, verse 11, he goes on to say, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for you shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord of hosts. So it's a promise from God, you know. If we do our part, He'll take care of us. He promises that. And I've proven it, and I'm sure a lot of you have proven that also. But just trust God for that. Continuing, let's go ahead and turn to 2 Corinthians 9, verses 6 through 9. Let's go ahead and turn there. 2 Corinthians 9, verses 6 through 9. Starting in verse 6. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Every man according as he purposes in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver. And God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that you, always having all sufficiency in all things, may abound to every good work. Verse 9, as it is written, He hath dispersed abroad, He hath given to the poor, His righteousness remaineth forever. So, when you're giving today, just think of that, all the blessings that we all have here that, you know, a lot of us have taken maybe for granted, but we always haven't seem to have enough food here and roof over our head and a lot of the blessings that God bestowed on us. So when we're giving, we can be thankful that we have the basic things here. It says, our church, the continuing church of God, is truly God's work. Never before in our recent history of God's church has a church of God done so much with so little income compared to the other churches of God in this time. Truly, we are the last Philadelphian remnant of God's church. We are restoring all things, especially church history, which we have a lot of these booklets coming out, and very good stuff. Our church has greatest number of booklets and literature in other languages than any other church of God. We spend the most percentage of our income that we have on helping the poorer members of our church than the other churches of God. We understand and preach a more sure word of prophecy. We teach that the fulness of the Gentiles must come into the church. That's what's another unique thing about us. We teach that. Let's go ahead and turn to Romans 11:25. For I would not, brethren, verse 25, Romans 11, for I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part has happened to Israel, until the fullness of the Gentiles becomes in. So we do understand this truth, and that's why most of our brethren are in Africa at this time. God is opening the doors there and around the world compared to the U.S. at this time. So God's fulfilling that promise. We're doing it. So I've been to Africa. Me and my sons were there about 6 months ago. So I've seen the poverty there and everything, but the morality is such there that it's like it was in the 50s and 60s here years ago. They don't believe in homosexuality is illegal there, and abortion, and they respect marriage more. There's not very many divorces, I wouldn't think, and they're open to the gospel kingdom of God. Whereas just like it was in the days of old Israel, they were a stiff-necked people. So there's, compared to a lot of the other nations of the world, this nation is not a godly nation anymore. So we can be thankful that God is opening the doors to these nations, and we know where our tithes and offerings are going, and we're doing a good work for them. Let's go ahead and turn to now to Acts 13, verse 41. Go ahead and turn there. Acts 13, verse 41. Verse 41, behold, ye despisers, and wonder, and perish, for I work a work in your days, a work which you shall in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you. So we can be thankful that we are doing a big work, and for so few of us here in the USA and everything. So we can be thankful that we're doing the right thing with our tithes and offerings, and we're doing good. I'm going to go ahead and I'll leave you with these scriptures. We'll go ahead and turn to Revelation 3, verses 7 through 13. Revelation 3, 7 through 13. It's about the letter to the churches. Letter to the church in Philadelphia, verse 7. And unto the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things saith the Lord, that he is holy, that he is true, that he hath the key of David, he that openeth, and no man shutteth, and shutteth, and no man openeth. 8. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before you an open door, and no man can shut it, for thou hast little strength, which we do. So it describes us here. And has little strength, and has kept my word, and has not denied my name. We have integrity. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and know that I have loved thee. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon the world to try them and that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh I will make a pillar in the temple of God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches. So we can think on those words when we're giving our offerings, because this is our time now, because the time is getting shorter, and by the signs that we're seeing in the world, and so let's do our part and do what we can while we can do it. And also now we'll be taking up the offering, so whoever's in charge of the taking up the offerings, go ahead and do that now. If you need any more envelopes, they're in the back there, and we'll go ahead and do that. And then I will also read, so the people that that aren't here today or abroad, they can send their tithes and offerings to it's the Continuing Church of God, 1036 West Grand Avenue, Grover Beach, California, 93433. I'll read that again. Continuing Church of God, 1036 West Grand Avenue, Grover Beach, California, 93433. Or you can go to the Continuing Church of God website. It's ccog.org, ccog.org, and you could click on the donation tab through PayPal. I know a lot of us, I do that personally, and it's convenient, so if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way too. Again, just think on these things and realize we have a great opportunity. We're blessed in this country, very blessed. And think on these things. This is Terry Nelson with the Continuing Church of God. Thank you.